So this is a little ghost special since we are around the time of the year that we call Halloween in English. And a lot of other countries have this tradition as well. This episode is a short one about ghosts. And I want to focus on what is a ghost and how can you notice that there is a ghost around and how do they behave and what do we do with them? I was so scared of ghosts. Oh my God. It was like the biggest fear in my life. And it was almost like a panicky fear. I was like, I refuse to hear or see or sense anything. And I think that has to do with that I did sense ghosts as a kid. And I really had no one to share this experience with or get support from. It wasn't something you talked about in the 80s. And I mean, if you would have said something in school about, like, I believe in ghosts, I mean, it would have sounded so stupid. And no, that was not an option. Maybe you can recognize this. So I shut down and was like, I just hope I don't notice anything. And then what happened when I started really like on my own spiritual awakening journey, which sort of got speed in my early 30s, what happened, of course, was that I started having like experiencing those. And I I was so scared and I was like, why the heck is this happening? And I just wanted to like get out of it. What I realized quite soon that this was sort of a lesson from my spirit guides to just work through this fear, which I did. And now this is like part of my normal daily life. So what a ghost is that it's a person that has been living here on Earth recently or a long time ago, and they have died, but they missed the exit. So they have become stuck here in our dimension. And this is super confusing. And I think this is really easy to put yourself in those shoes, that if you have died and you didn't really notice it, you weren't really there, present when that happened. You just noticed that your experience of existence has changed. People don't seem to hear you as well. You recognize yourself, things change. And I mean, it's a super confusing state of being. So I would say that a lot of ghosts have a lot of anxiety and fear. And for some people, like when they're alive, fear can turn out like anger. So people can seem angry, but they really are fearful or sad. So ghosts are really people like us, but without bodies, and they are stuck in a dimension where they shouldn't be. So the best thing we can do is to learn how to help them home to the light, or to help, or whatever feels comfortable for you calling it. And this is a super simple process that everybody can learn. It's not as complicated as it can be presented on TV shows and stuff like that. And I teach this to all my clients. So you can, I mean, if I could learn this myself, you can too, I promise. So where can you find a ghost or meet one? Like in ghost stories, it's often like in very old buildings. And while this is true, a ghost can appear anywhere, like in a brand new office building or in a newly built apartment building. Because, I mean, they're like people, and people can be found everywhere. So everywhere that people are around, you can also find ghosts. And sometimes the ghost is attached to that place. So perhaps he or she lived in that building, and in that case, that ghost would probably not move as much around, like geographically, or very much stay in that place. But sometimes that's not the case. So a ghost may walk around a lot or travel. They can go by airplane, just like us. They can just tag along someone somewhere. So they can move all over the world. This means that there are no limitations to where a ghost can. And what also happens sometimes is that a ghost who is really like a confused person, like, hey, where am I? Why aren't people listening to me? They don't seem to notice me. That kind of strange experience. They will perhaps see you walking down the street and you look nice and have a nice aura and like a friendly vibe. So they might decide, I just follow her because she seems nice. Maybe she can help me. So you might have been living ghost-free forever, and then suddenly you find that, the atmosphere in my house has suddenly changed. I feel drained. I feel anxious. Something is off, and you might perhaps feel that someone is present in the room, although you don't see anyone. So these are signs that you have a ghost in your house, and it can be that someone who was like, yeah, I'll just follow her. Maybe she can help me. And then they stay in your home. So this can also happen. It can go from no ghosts to having ghosts in your vicinity. And this was like a shock to me when I learned that this could happen. I had no idea that this was like a common behavior. But then when I realized that, ghosts are just like us, people who needs help, then it just became more logical. So the principle then of helping a ghost is, of course, to stop ignoring them. We might feel that this is scary, but if you have a person, like a living person in your home, sitting in your sofa and having like anxiety, if you just ignore that person, nothing will get better for you or for that person. So if you feel like, I think there actually is a ghost in my house, what do you do? Well, step one is just to sit down and tune into that and see if you can actually contact that person. Just like say, hey, I think I see you. Who are you? Do you know that you're deceased? And can I help you in some way? Just open up a communication. That is a really nice thing to do, filled with empathy and kindness. Super nice. The way you might see a ghost is very similar to if you just bring up a person in your mind. You might think of perhaps your colleague at work. Then you get sort of a mental picture of that person. A ghost will appear similarly in your mind. So you can get the feeling, wait, I sense that this is a man. I think he's quite tall and it feels like he has like a lot of wavy hair. So just sort of tune into who this is and just be clear that, hey, I notice you. Then that's a great first step because then everything will sort of calm down a bit, especially if this ghost has been causing trouble, like sounds or disturbances in your home. And then just see if he or she has something that they want to convey to you. Then the next step is that you say to them, well, do you want me to help you home to the light where you belong? Because you can't live here. I mean, this is actually the same as if a living stranger walked into your house. You don't have to have ghosts living in your house. It's not like okay. So you're like, I can help you to the light. What you do next, and this might sound super abstract, but I mean, just try it and see if it works. It can't hurt. Next step is that you imagine a light portal somewhere in your home opening up. It could look like a door or just sort of a bright light appearing, and you direct the ghost to that light. And sometimes someone comes from the light to meet this ghost and help them over to do the transition. And sometimes not. Sometimes the ghost just sort of walks into the light and you get the sense of, I think he or she is gone. And then you close down the portal. This can literally take like a couple of minutes. It can be super quick. So this is like a sort of life hack that will improve your life immensely if you have ever experienced like uncomfortable feelings in your home that is because that you have visits, ghostly visits. It's not any more complicated than that. So bottom line is that ghosts are people like us, but without bodies. They're a bit lost, and everybody, including you, can help them home. And when you do that, you make the energy of your home and this world more harmonious for everyone. So this is really, really a nice practice to include in your own spiritual practice. And if you want to get help with this or more practice, because I just went through this super quick, you're very welcome to contact me and perhaps book my free coaching call to just sort of orientate, to just sort of discuss this and see if I can help you. So good luck with your goals at home.